What's up, guys? So, brand new trade recap of the trade I took on gold on Sunday. So, basically, as I say in every single trade recap, I actually trade futures, but I use the Forex on FX Replay just to do a little recap for y'all. So, I only trade MGC, but it's basically like the same, I think. Like sometimes it's like some little change, but like in a general way, it's basically the same. So, I actually took a win on Sunday, but I don't actually like the trade, and that's why the title is how I still made money while losing, because I think that the trade I could have lost, and but I still ended up winning. So, the first mistake I did was probably on the bias. So here, I would be really more bullish, all right, because um, I'm just really looking for like a rebalance of this whole range, and we're starting to like respect on the lower time frames, like not the lower, but like the hourly. We're respecting bullish, right? So right there, respecting bullish. So we're just really like respecting bullish, and like clearly trending to the upside now, all right? Because and if we look at it, like we're just probably going to be doing something like that, all right? So that's like the first mistake. But what I was thinking is basically just we were into this like 4 hour bearish bullish fair value gap right here, and we were like basically I don't trade like the candle would have never closed while I was trading Asia sessions, so I couldn't have like wait for like a confirmation, like an inversion, or like if we respect the gap, because it would have been like 2 hours after I finished trading, so I couldn't wait for that. So because I saw that we were displacing through that 4 hour bullish gap, I was like, the condition would be, if we're respecting this, we're probably going to be going for that high right there, and maybe this intermediate high above inside this 4 hour gap, right? But because we're displacing through it, I was now more leaning towards gold taking this intermediate 4 hour low. So basically, for those who don't know what an intermediate high or low is, it's basically just a high or a low inside a fair value gap, or yeah, basically. So the fair value gap is there, this is the low. Now we also did get, where's that? We had some equal lows, I think. Yeah, I do think we did right there, because I said there's like some little oh no, we did get it. Yeah, so basically equal lows right there, and that was like the actual take profit that I used, because as I said, we were displacing through that gap. So I would basically just want to see shorts toward either this intermediate low and like the equal lows below. So it was a 15-minute retracement, so I think, yeah. So we have this 15-minute gap right there. I do think I entered off a retracement in this one, so we no longer need this 4 hour gap. All right, so I'm pretty sure it was this one. I'm not sure though, we'll see. So we have this 15-minute gap, and leading to that gap, we have like some sort of like low resistance liquidity right there. So I just really wanted to see basically something like that. All right, so I don't remember though what happens. Oh yeah, so basically we do get a retracement as I wanted, but then we actually create a 5-minute gap right over here, and like, so basically if I would have normally traded my model would have need to wait for like a 5 minute inversion of that gap, but the entry was just so bad. I couldn't have just wait for that. So that's the second main reason why I think it was a bad trade, because I didn't follow the actual entry model that I have. I use more of my discretion, and I don't think that's something that I want to be doing. Right, so basically here, that's pretty good though. We create a stop hunt, so we sweep the eye that like originally filled the fair value gap, so that's good. But again, we have no proper inversion. I don't even think we have a 30-second. So then, bang, we don't tap into the 5 minute though. So we have like a bit of displacement to the downside, and then that's where I entered actually. So basically, why I still entered the trade even though we didn't get any good inversion is because like what I was thinking was basically like if we're gonna be like we already got a stop hunt, so we're either gonna be going for like this high, or that's it. That's if we're going to be really really bullish, and like we're at least, maybe if we're like less bullish, at least going to be retracing into that 5 minute before going to the upside. So basically my thought process was I'm gonna enter off this little retracement, and we have like a 1 minute IVG. I don't know if it's this candle or like, I think it was this one, maybe, I don't know. So basically that was like something like that. All right, like no, was it yeah. So I basically took something like that, I think. Yep. So yeah, so it was basically like the trade, and like what I really wanted to see was the equal lows. And where were those? Oh no, maybe these were the equal lows that I'm talking about. Yeah, I think these were. So I was basically like something like that. I think it was a little different though, because I don't usually go for, yeah, no, I think it was, yeah, that was a trade. So I basically entered off like this 1 minute IFVG, like a little like pullback into this leg, and my little process was just, if we're gonna be bearish, we're gonna at least tap into this 5 minute. But it's a good like idea, but I could just gone stopped out like that, and yet a proper inversion after, and then so that's why like the trade wasn't really valid. I do think it does play out, and because I still made money, I got a winning day. So basically what I did was I was risking like 150. Yeah, I was risking like 150. So basically here at the 1-to-1 RR mark was my winning day. So I still need like some winning days, because I was at like 3 winning day at that time. Now I'm at 5, so I'm chilling, but I was at 3, so I needed a winning day. So basically what I did is I actually closed my positions at a 1-to-1 RR, which was 150. Now I want to risk way less. Yeah, oh yeah, no. Oh my god. 0.15. Bang. Alright. Why is it a sell limit though? I don't like that. Yeah, so basically that was what I was doing. So I was gonna be trailing my stop. Like once I hit winning day, I was gonna be trailing my stop in profit to winning day. So that's basically what I was thinking. So now what happens? Shopping, and then did we get a winning day? Yeah, we did. I do think it did. So basically what happened is I was like we were into this 5 minute, and I was just we didn't like seem to be displacing like with a lot of displacement through the 5 minute gap. So I basically just moved my take profit to 150 to just secure a winning day. So then we I got my winning day basically. That's just it. That's pretty much like the trade. Stop loss was at like the 5 minute wick. I usually put it at like the CE of the wick, but like with the sizing, I couldn't because it wasn't like a even number. So yeah, and then I got like not lucky, but because there's like no confluence really for like my take profit, and that's like the third point of why I don't think it was a good trade, right? So because right after bang bang, bang basically stop that, or break even at least. So I was lucky, we could say, but yeah, so that was basically a trade. So now why I don't like that trade, and yeah, the reason why I say that I lose because if I lost that trade, I would have been pretty mad at myself. So why was this a bad trade? It's not aligning with the higher time frame bias. Also that's not fitting. I don't even know if you write this like that, right? Not my usual entry model. No TP wasn't at any significant liquidity pool. So that's basically why I don't like that trade. And that's like the question I suggest y'all to ask yourself before entering a trade. Would I be mad at myself if I lost that trade? All right, and if you ask you this question before every single trade, you're probably gonna be avoiding the losing trade, because a lot of trades that I realized I was taking trades that I didn't really like, so that helps me with my psyche basically. And I didn't mention it, but I went break even at the 5 minute, of course, because we could have just rejected out of it. I think we did. I don't think we invalidated that gap. Yeah, we didn't. So yeah, that's pretty much the trade recap. So I didn't manage to make money, but I don't think it was like I could have lost that trade. But I really like the retracement. We took the low resistance, filled the 15-minute gap, got a stop hunt, but didn't get enough a good inversion, but I entered off like that type of little retrace inversion. So yeah. So I also took a trade on Monday. Really nice 1 to 1.7 hour banger. I will post a recap tomorrow, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's trade recap. So if any of y'all have any questions, just let me know. And that's pretty much it.